You're more shredded than a julienne salad, man. Any tips? Any tips you got?
Any tips you got?
You know, there's like the pineapple.
Give me that goddamn map! Fuck you!
I got myself a package in the mail. It's a new battery for my Panigale. Alright. The factory battery right here finally shit the bed. This thing was pretty meek in terms of cranking power, so I figured I might as well step up to a lithium battery. So that's what I got here now. I'm going to cut into this box. So yeah. So I got about 2.5 years out of that OEM battery, and it really never had the capacity to crank the bike over. I was always worried about it. I could tell between seasons that the heated jacket just wasn't getting as hot, and I think it's just because of the crap battery. So I figured I'd give this Antigravity battery a whirl. It's made in the USA. Says it right there. What the heck? Let's see what we got here. Do not use a lead acid charger. You only use lithium life PO412V specific charger. Here. Yeah, you definitely don't want to use your typical battery tender on one of these babies. Do not over discharge. Cold weather battery may seem sluggish on first start attempt. And so I guess you're supposed to leave your lights on and put a load on the battery to wake it up. Alright, enough of these instructions here. That's some foam blocks. Alright, here's the battery. Yeah, this thing's pretty light. So this is dimensionally equivalent to the OEM battery. See that? Right? But you can get this battery in a smaller form factor, but I didn't want to, mess around with packing the thing with foam to get it to fit on the existing battery box. So it comes with a little battery tester here. You can hold down this little test light, and 3 lights is full, 2 lights is medium, 1 light is low. So we got 3 lights, so we're good to go. It's actually a pretty mild day here in San Francisco. Oh yeah, the 5-0. It's actually warmer out here than it is in the garage. Okay. So the curiosity got the better of me, and I ended up going down to the post office to try and weigh these batteries, because I didn't really believe that this battery was 2.5 pounds. It felt more like a little more than a pound to me. So I went down to the post office, and they didn't have a scale there. I didn't want to wait in line, so I ended up going to the produce market across the street, threw this on a scale, and it was actually 1.6 pounds. And this was close to 5 pounds, about 4.9 pounds. This thing's about 3.5 pounds lighter than that OEM battery there. So that's a pretty good weight savings. Okay. So if you compare the new battery with the OEM battery, there is one significant dimensional difference, and that is the distance between this face and the terminal hole center. So you can see here that this distance here between this face and this terminal hole center is a lot less than this. It's probably a couple hundred thousandths, could even be a 1/4 inch or so. But that means you're going to have to sort of stretch your lead a little bit, maybe crimp it up against the terminal to get it to attach. The other thing that I noticed is the screws that come with the new battery are a larger diameter than the original ones. See that? Which means that these ring ends, these ring connectors, aren't going to work. Some of them may not work. I'm assuming your bike is going to be the same, but I can't fit this screw into these terminal ends here. I ended up using the original screws, and the other difference is you've got more daylight here under the terminal post. See that? So what you've got to do is, let me see that there. You've got to kind of shim that distance, and I used the new nut underneath with the old nut on top. See that? and that way the screw will reach down and grab the nut. So that's what I did. Alright. These guys are out of Southern California. It looks like Gardena, California. I bought this battery because it was made here. I guess Shirai makes another version of this. They seem to be like the industry leader in these lithium-ion batteries. I think they make a lithium-ion battery. There aren't too many products that are made here, so if you can find one that's of good quality, you definitely should buy it over the foreign stuff. You know, just to do your part for the old USA. So I don't run too many accessories other than the heated jacket and gloves, but I wanted to install one of these SAE jacks so that I can run my iPhone, the GPS on my phone. I went the cheap route. I got one of these at Radio Shack. You can, you know, go on Amazon and buy one of the handlebar mounted ones with the USB ports in it, but you know, this thing was $9, so it'll work just fine for what I need to do. So you can see that the new lithium-ion battery puts out about 2.5 times the power of the old lead-acid battery, and that's because it has over 2.5 times the cold cranking amps. But it also has a higher capacity in terms of amp hours, 9 versus 6.5. Basically, amp hour rating is the time to completely drain the battery at a certain load. So, for example, you know, let's say your capacity was 1 amp hour, and it took 1 hour to drain the battery, you could supply, hours cancel, 1 amp for 1 hour, right, until the battery was drained. Likewise, if you had 1 amp hour over half an hour, you could have essentially 2 amps. So you could supply 2 amps over half hour. So anyway, alright, got my accessory jack here. And I think I'm going to mount it right under here and zip tie it to this wire bundle, and just so it's out of the way. I had thought about mounting it up here. This is about the only place I could think of that would that wouldn't really interfere with the steering, but you know, if it comes loose, I don't want to flop it around up there. I figured it's just a lot easier to tuck it down here. I had to put a couple of ring connectors on the end here. So I can stick this thing under here. So this actually has a fusible link here, which is pretty nice. Pain in the ass. You can see there, it just doesn't line up. So when you're connecting up the battery, it's important that you make sure you attach the primary leads first, so that, because they require the most power, so you want to have good contact between the primary leads and the battery terminals. You know, and then you can start piling on the secondary and tertiary leads or whatever. So we'll do the same thing on the other side here. Alright, so what did I find out here? So this ground wire is actually routed through the back of the battery box. I actually pulled the 3 screws out of the battery box so I could take a look at it. And all I did is I just grabbed a pair of needle nose and just tugged up, just kind of pried up against the top face of the battery to pull that ground wire through the battery box just a little bit, sort of snake it through a little bit, give you just a little bit more distance there, and then you pretty much works. The holes line up. Alright. Ba-ding! Mandy. Let's see if this thing plugs in here. Oh yeah. We got juice. Ba-boom! Alright. So I'm just gonna stick that thing right up there on my RAM mount. And that's fine. Alright. So let's fire this thing up. Oil service. Yeah, I know. 22,351. I already changed the oil at like around 22. But I gotta bring it in for the frickin' service so I can maintain the warranty on it. Alright, let's see if this thing fires up. Alright, I'm gonna leave this bundled up length of lead here in case I want to move that accessory jack to another location. Alright. Alright. Yeah, that's a bad design.
You're cut up. Not like Rambo 1, but Rambo 2. You're more shredded than a julienne salad, man. Any tips? Any tips you got?
That's all she wrote. Come on now.
You're more shredded than a julienne salad, man. Any tips? Any tips you got?
Fuck you!
Pick your crowd, pick your